So you met Sandy and you had the tickets before the concert, correct? It's Waterloo we're talking about.
We had our 2 tickets.
And what, if anything, happened with regard to Mr. Damiano before this concert?
He was on the phone with somebody. You know, I could only hear it, and I don't remember his conversation, but he was talking about the tickets, and there'll be tickets. He was trying to get 4 tickets for the show.
Well, let's back up for a minute. Let's back up for a minute.
Sure.
Did there come a time when Mr. Damiano called you about the Waterloo concert?
Oh, I'm not sure who called who.
At some point, you and he started talking about the Waterloo concert.
Yes.
What happened next with regard to you and he going to the Waterloo concert together?
Well, I think I was already planning on going.
Right.
Because I had my tickets already when I got to Jimmy's house. I know I've had my tickets already, so.
So there came a time when you went to Mr. Damiano's house?
Before the show, and he was planning on going too.
Was that the day of the show?
Yes.
And you went to his house for the purpose of going to the show together?
Yes.
At the time, he was trying to get 4 tickets to the show?
Yes. On the phone.
You already had 2 tickets.
Right.
And he was going to get 4 to give you 2 on the theory that maybe he can get better tickets?
That may have been his thinking at the time.
Okay, and what happened next?
Well, when we got to the show, he went to the window, and there was 4 tickets there for him.
And did you and Sandy and Pam and Mr. Damiano go to the concert?
We walked in. Yes, we did go to the concert. I didn't know how good his seats were, so me and Sandy kept the tickets that we originally had. And I wish I didn't do that because his seats were a lot better, but I wish I didn't do that because his seats were much better.
Because you could have scalped them and just taken his, right?
I could have scalped mine and set with his, but instead I did the opposite.
Right.
To get some money for Pam. And they weren't going to sell them. They were just, and I said, Pam, why don't I go try to sell these for you? And she liked the idea, and so I went back to the line, and I sold them for a cost, face value. I didn't scalp them.
So you sold...
Face value, and I gave the money to Pam.
You sold your 2 tickets that you had previously bought.
No, I wish I did that. I sold 2 of the tickets that he received at the window.
I see.
Right.
And you sat in your seats.
Yes.
And they sat in their seats.
Yes.
Where were your seats?
Way off to the left of the stage. Very corner left, and it was maybe a dozen rows back or something.
On the floor?
Yeah, it's under the 10, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Under the 10. Sorry.
And how did it come that you scalped their 2 as opposed to your 2?
Well, I think I said I wasn't sure how good his seats were.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what I was thinking at the time, whether I got my tickets earlier and maybe they were better, but I don't know. I sold their 2 tickets. I wish I didn't because they had much nicer seats.
And do you remember how much you got for the 2 tickets?
No, it was face value, whatever it was. I don't know.
Okay. As you're selling the tickets for face value...
If they had them at the box office, they weren't sold out.
Sure, I understand. As you're selling the tickets, you then watch the concert from your seats.
Yes.
Off on the side, and Mr. Damiano, Mrs. Damiano sat
with the other 2 people.
The 2 people.
Yes, a couple that I sold the tickets to. And they said, excellent seats, thanks.
And what, if anything, did Mr. Damiano tell you about where he got the 4 seats on the night in question?
Okay.
And sir,
yes.
When I say on the night in question, I'm asking you to tell us whether you remember if he said anything to you about where he got the tickets on the night in question as opposed to some other time.
I remember him being on the phone in the kitchen for about 15-20 minutes talking to some guy about the tickets. And I only know he said the guy's name Anthony Tiller, but he didn't. I mean, that's all I know.
Mm-hmm. And do you remember where Mr. Damiano's seats were?
They were, I would say, pretty much on center, maybe 6 rows back, maybe more, maybe less. I don't know. They were nice seats though.
And now, prior to the concert, what, if anything, did Mr. Damiano tell you about why he was going to the concert?
We had a book of songs that Jimmy composed, and we were gonna give them to Bob. I was gonna meet Bob.
You were going to meet Bob?
Yes, I was hoping to.
Okay, and why don't you tell us about what caused you to hope that you were going to meet Bob that night?
Well, when I saw the tickets that were there at the window, I was pretty sure I was going to meet Bob that night.
Why is that?
Because he was I don't know, he said we were gonna.
Mr. Damiano told you he was going to meet Bob.
Well, we're going to give songs to Bob, yes.
And did he tell you, sir, that he had a date with Mr.
No, I still, believe it. When I see it, I kind of had that kind of an attitude, but...
Well, my question is, what did Mr. Damiano tell you about what was going to happen?
Well, we had the manila yellow envelope with songs in it and a demo tape of Another Justification, and we were going to give that to Bob.
Okay, my question to you, sir, is what did Mr. Damiano tell you about